Welcome back to What Are Tea Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T82 HMC. It's a Tier 4 American SPG. It's located on the south spawn of mines, and this one's under the command of Anisoptera. Now, we don't often see replays for this Arty, and the main reason is that obviously it's in the collection now, so most players don't actually have to play it if they want to advance up the tech tree. But it's an interesting Arty. I must admit, I've had some fun battles in this thing. It's got a 105mm howitzer capable of 410 alpha, which is the same as you get on a BP, and it penetrates 27mm of armor, and it's got a burst radius of 1.91 meters, but that's practically nothing. You have to get your shells very close to the enemy in order to do damage. Now, they started development work on this Arty in November of 1943 because they needed another SPG in the Far East for the jungles that was capable of coping with the heat. The thing about this Arty is that it's very open. You can see it's based on the Stuart hull, the M5A1, and it's very light. Most of the self-propelled guns they had at the time, things like the M8A1, the Scott, were closed hull, or closed turret, and of course in the jungle heat that would get intolerable. So they needed a really open vehicle that meant that the crews weren't going to be incapacitated. Anisoptera using his shell camera again. Certainly very different. Now the reload, standard reload, is 12.46 seconds, and the main reason for that is that it is a 105mm shell, which is slightly quicker to reload. It doesn't have the full range of the map. You have to get fairly close to the centre if you want to shoot over the entire range. And Anisoptera has decided to move up so you can get behind this bush. That will hide him from the enemy, but it means that he should be able to get close shots on the enemy tanks virtually throughout the map. Okay, he's dialing in on Stug 3 Aslains B. It's a tier 4 game with tier 3 tanks in it. Rounds out. Oh, that was a direct hit. He got the Stug. He hit him, but he didn't kill him. There's no guarantee he would have penned him, but he certainly would have done a fair bit of damage. He fires another one in, and it looks like the Stug has moved. He didn't like getting hit. Okay, he's looking around for targets to strike. There's an AMX 36 there, I think. There's a 38, sorry. And a Panzer 3 Panzer 2, I should say. Aslains G, that's the one with the autocannon. He tried to get that one in, but it hit the side of the building. So they actually developed two prototypes of this little Arty in August of 1944, and they sent it for trials at the Aberdeen Proving Grounds, and they tested it out. As far as we know, it passed the trials, but the project was cancelled in June 21st, 1945, mostly due to lack of interest, but also because by then they were planning the invasion of Japan, and they were going to use even bigger Arty than this one to conquer Japan. They were going to use the T82 HMCs, not the T82s, and the T92s had a 24cm howitzer instead. 24cm howitzer could do a lot more damage. Now you can see he's actually firing most of these shells before he gets fully dialed in, but that one looks a bit better, and that was right on target and took out the Panzer 2 Aslains G. So he's got his first kill. He's firing at no, that hit the tower. Yeah, he's hit the bell tower there. It's very difficult to hit targets like that with this Arty's accuracy. It's not that great. Okay, didn't get those. There's a Hetzer he might be able to hit. Just around that corner. There he is. Now, Hetzers have fairly thin armor, so he might be able to do a fair bit of damage to this guy. Just dialing in. That looks good. And yes, direct hit, 129. Now, can he do that again? Oh, he got a big reticule bloom. I'm afraid the arc of this Arty is not that great. It's only 39 degrees. You've got 17 degrees one side, 22 degrees the other. And he's killed the Hetzer now. That second shot was enough to take him out. So 2 kills. It is a reduced numbers game on this one. There's only 10 players either side. And there's a fair number of bots in the game as well. You can see those are the ones with the colons before and after their name. Rounds out. And another kill. This time the M1542 with thin armor. He goes down. So that's 3 kills now. He's having a good game. Right, that Panzer III Ausführung J on the island looks a good target. It's a fair distance away, but instead he's going to go for the Panzer T15, which is, of course, thinly armoured. And it's a tier 3, fully dialed in, fires, gets a hit. 194, that's a big hit. He's taking damage, so he's getting damage assist because he actually tracked the guy. And the track actually worked and he got extra. Well, no, that didn't work because you need to give enough lead when they're moving fast. And that Panzer 15 can actually move quite quickly. The T, by the way, Panzer T15, the T actually stands for it's a tank built by somebody outside Germany. Okay, the AMX-38, French tier 3, if I remember correctly, it's a tier 4. It's a tier 3. Very thickly armoured, those Panzer 38s, actually. Okay, Valentine. They are difficult to kill because the only place that you can really pen is the rear. And he's got him by the rear because if you can notice, there's the engine cover. And that's the thinnest armour on this vehicle. If he can load in time, he might be able to get a kill here. Rounds out. Well, he gets a big hit for 134. And I think he might have tracked the guy, but he needs to reload quickly. And we're now being fired on by the Valentine, who knows where we are. And we fire another one in and kill him. But we did take a couple of hits from that Valentine's 2-pounder. And in fact, we're still getting hit, this time by the AMX-38. So we need to move, because we're now one shot. One of the good things about this little Arty is it's fast. 64 kilometers an hour. Very fast for a tier 4. And you can make take advantage of that. In fact, I did in one battle where I was able to, I got so incensed that my team were being literally torn apart by the enemy. I drove my little Arty all the way from one end of the map to the other. I took out 2 enemy Arties next to the enemy cap with a shotgun. And then I sat in the cap and started lobbing shells at the enemy tanks in the other end of the map. It was very funny because, of course, you don't expect a little Arty to do that to the enemy. But you can shotgun in this Arty. It is possible to do it. Okay, he's going to dial in on the Stug 3 Ausführung B. He's hit this guy before, so some of that loss of hit points may be down to Anisoptera. Can he get a hit? Rounds out. Oh, beautiful! 5 kills. He's got 1/3 of the enemy team now. That was a lovely shot. He's got plenty of ammo to play with, but you only get 8 HE rounds in this one. Okay, well, the only enemy left are over the other side of the map, and it might be to his advantage to get in the cap and start capping, because there's only 2 of them, and if they get close enough, he should be able to hit them. He's waiting for his T127 teammate to actually show him where they are. I'm wondering if he's actually going to wait for the enemy to get into his cap and then start bombarding them. From what the T127 can see, it looks like our M8A1 though, the Scott, is actually going for the enemy cap. Okay, so he's going to protect his own cap, whilst the M8A1 and the T127 go for the enemy cap. As I said, you can shotgun the enemy with this Arty fairly effectively. Okay, he gets close. I'm wondering if he's going to try and ambush the enemy the moment they get into the cap. Well, he's looking, and the T127 and M8A1 are almost out of, well, they are out of radio range. So, although he's looking at his own cap, he's actually waiting to see what will happen with his teammates. If the enemy turn up back at the other cap, then, oh no, the Panzer T15's behind him, and I don't think he can see him. He doesn't know the Arty's there. The Panzer T15's only a short distance away. Oh, and he did notice him. Yeah, he did get spotted. The moment he moved, actually, he probably lowered his camo, and the Panzer T15 took him out. But it looks like this one is going to be a win anyway, because I don't think the enemy's going to be able to get a reset before the end of the game. And that means that Anisoptera is probably going to end up with the most damage and the most kills, and they've done it. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a third-class tanker for Anisoptera in the T82 HMC. It's the first time he's had a third class, because you can see he's got the scrolls underneath, which means it's his first time. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, 1/3 of the enemy team, just 1 kill short of getting a top gun. If he'd taken out that Panzer T15, yep, he would have got a medal. And with the Bruiser medal as well for getting at least 12 critical hits. In fact, not getting 12, at least getting 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. And he got the high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And his win rate from that battle was 5,487, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he actually ended up with over 1,000 hit points, 1,051, just enough to qualify for the high caliber, most damage and at least 20% of the enemy hit pool. The second highest damage in the game went to the M8A1 on his team with 674, and the third highest damage went to the Hetzer on the enemy team with 605. Remember, there were 6 bots on each side in the game, so it was 10 on each side in total. But yes, there were a lot of bots. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those, 5 kills for Anisoptera, 3 kills for the Hetzer on the enemy team, and then the rest had 1. And when it came to base XP, he had the highest in that one as well for 543. 474 went to the Matilda LVT, and 375 went to the M8A1. He fired 20 rounds in that game, got 9 direct hits on the enemy, but no penetrations, but 10 splash. Damage of 1,051 hit points, of which 508 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see that some of it was fairly close range stuff. And I think those shots on the Valentine were fairly close, and that's why he got spotted. He received 5 hits from the enemy, 4 of them penetrated, 1 non-penetration, and I'm afraid that shot at the end, which came from the Panzer T15, was a fatal one. 55 hit points of damage blocked by armor. That was one of the shots that actually hit the tracks. 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 75 hit points of damage assistance. That's when he tracked the enemy vehicle. I think it was the Panzer T15, and his teammates piled on in and did some damage. He earned 20,873 credits on a premium count, 70,000 for completing a mission, 90,873 altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away a profit of 86,513 credits. That's not bad for a tier 4 Arty. In fact, it's very good. 814 XP, 1,630 for completing a mission, and took away 2,444 experience points altogether. So it's, yes, he actually questioned this was only a clear class 3. I think actually if he had got the, well, he did get the highest damage in the game. But if it had been a full game with 15 players on either side, then I think it might have been higher, because more than likely he probably would have ended up with a first class or an ace tanker, because there would have been enough players for him to earn enough XP to do it. But it was very surprising that he did get the high caliber, because he was very lucky to just get over 1,000 hit points, which is one of the criteria in order to get. You can see that it says damage cause must be at least 1,000 hit points. He only just got over that, and he definitely got 20% of the enemy hit pool. And yes, so he was lucky to qualify for that one, because one of his shots must have been enough just to tip him over the edge. But he would have got a first class or an ace, as I said, if he'd had more players on either team. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below, because it feeds the algorithm. And please do let other people know that we're sending all the profits from or all the proceeds from our channel to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal to help the refugees coming out of the war. So please do watch as many of our videos as you can, and we can then send all of the proceeds to the Red Cross. Thanks for watching.